Hello, thank you for taking the time to view my Module 5 video presentation. Today I'm going to discuss the two questions that have been posed to us. The first, what are the strengths of Roizen's network across the different stages of her career? This makes me think specifically of a quote from the Cialdini article, that leadership's challenge is how to get things done through others. I think Roizen did this very well. The strengths of her network include, number one, her network was diverse and included many influential people, from the CEO of Tandem Computers, who wrote her first letter of recommendation to MBA school, all the way up to Bill Gates and Scott McNealy. Roizen's network was also both broad and deep. As Gentile described, Roizen was the nucleus of a large network, who was able to make successful connections to nuclei of other large networks. And this in turn put her in contact with some really key individuals within the field of software development and computer technology. I think also her decisions to join the Software Publishers Association and hosting various dinner parties helped to kind of broaden and deepen her network. I feel that this is analogous to the shared activities principle that was defined in the Uzium Dunlap article. And if you think about it, it gives her really a chance to, through these experiences, to reach out and connect to people that might be a little different than her and have different backgrounds and expertise. And it does it in a way that is kind of away from work, outside of work, in more of a personal setting. I think it's also important to look at how Roizen created such a strong network. Not just the fact that, was her network strong, but how did she do it? I think from the beginning of her career, it was evident that she was successful in establishing strong networks through her hard work, her focus on performance and consistency, delivering on promises, and also really important aspect of being really prepared for meetings when she would be in contact with CEOs or other influential members of various businesses, really making that good impression. I think she also made those strong connections through her outgoing nature, her knowledge, and her willingness to help. So really, her baseline character. I think that is really important to consider when we're looking at building our networks. Is who are we as a character and our personality, and how does that influence our network? I think it's also interesting to point out that she created positive contacts with people that were smart, intelligent, and as opposed to powerful. She didn't seek out the CEOs or those with the most power. She sought out those that had new ideas and were innovative and were interesting. I think, as Ellen Levy stated in the Roizen article, she placed bets on the contacts she made, and many times those bets paid off. I think it's important to kind of point out. The second question for this module, we're to look at the concepts found in the readings and see how Roizen was able to utilize some of those concepts and if they were able to influence her power and influence over others and networking success. So I'll kind of break it down into the different readings that we had. First, from the Give and Take book, there's a quote that I like to point out is, highly successful people have three things in common. First is motivation, second ability, and third is opportunity. And then the book takes a bit of time to point out that really there is a fourth concept that's very important, and that is how we approach our interactions with other people. I think she did this very well. I think as I analyzed Roizen's interactions with others and the contacts she made, she was very careful to respect the connections she made. Meaning when she, for example, when she referred one of her contacts to a company that had maybe a new idea or for a business opportunity, career opportunity, she really was careful to make sure it was a win-win for both parties. I think that tactic, along with the fact that she held high-profile roles, helped establish consistency and trust with her colleagues. I feel that Roizen primarily reflects the style of a matcher. She strove to maintain kind of an equal balance of giving and getting with individuals and fairness in her interactions with others. Her nature seemed to contrast a little bit the givers identified in the book, such as John Huntsman Sr., Abraham Lincoln, and Adam Rifkin. One inconsistency, however, of her being a matcher was the fact that she did have a very strong and extensive network, which is a little bit more common for a giver. Some examples in the case study that kind of portray Roizen as more of a matcher is, number one, how she focused on assisting companies that had something to give or give back to the company that she worked for if she was going to invest that money into them. Number two, as a venture capitalist, she really spent some significant time, put time aside to really help her friends, quote unquote. And she really helped people with that certain mindset of, you never know where people are going to be in the future. Meaning, I take that as a little bit of, you know, they may be a CEO or someone that could potentially help me down the line. From the Cialdini article, I think Roizen definitely displays the principle of reciprocity, basically meaning give what you want to receive. And she also exemplifies the principle of authority based on the high positions she held and the influence she had over others and the knowledge she had garnered over the years. From the Uzzing Dunlap article, in addition to Roizen acting as that network broker and successfully harnessing the shared activities principle, I think two other statements from that article I feel really relate to Roizen and how she built her network. The first is individual success is tied to the ability to transcend natural skill through others, skill limitations through others, I should say. Then also, when you trade information or skills with people whose experiences differ from your own, you provide one another with unique and valuable resources. I think she experienced that a lot throughout her career, and she took action to make that happen. Thank you very much for viewing my presentation. I look forward to your feedback and comments.